Welcome to the Trading Journal, guys, where we take high volatility stocks and make money trading them. Now, if you're new to the channel, we are trying to take our small account and trying to grow as fast as possible. Last week, we blew up our account where we lost over $27,000 in one day on one bad trade. So we decided to take our small account and document our journey back to $40,000 and our end goal of $100,000. Now, today was a green day where we locked in over $2,100 trading MGIH and MSGY. Our first trade was on MGIH. It made a really impressive move from about $1.60 all the way to $2.70. We recognized the momentum shift. We missed the reversal. We scalped it on the way down with a breakdown below $2 and covering it at the half dollar around $1.50. Now, our next trade was SION. This stock is facing massive lawsuits for misleading investors after a massive 90% drop yesterday in the pre-market, falling from about $50 to $4. And our last trade of the day was MSGY. This stock we took 2 times, and the first trade we scalped on the momentum shift, making about $700. After we got out, we recognized that there was a short squeeze coming. We waited for the fade and scalped it one more time for about $250, locking in about $950 total. So with that said, let's break down our trades. Let's get into the stocks that we traded today and show you guys how we locked in over $2,100 on the day. Welcome, traders. So let's break down the first stock that we traded today, and that was MGIH. So let me show you guys the daily chart of MGIH, and it is a very similar story. Now, if you look at this chart, you can see that every single time this stock pushes, it leaves a massive topping tail. You see one here, one here, one here, everywhere. So today was going to be no different, and traders are going to look for the exact same pattern because this stock was going up on no news and it's always facing NASDAQ compliance and dilution. So with that said, where can we take advantage of this information? Where can we take advantage and short the stock or go long on this stock? So we can see in the pre-market and after hours, this stock started at around $1.60 and slowly grinds all the way up to $2.30. And when the market opened in the pre-market, it gaps down to about $1.80. So from this alone, we can see the range in the pre-market today between $1.80 and $2.12. We cannot short into this because when a stock is slowly grinding, all levels of resistance and support is essentially neutralized. All the buyers, all the sellers, they're exchanging shares, and there is no real way for you to take advantage of a slow grinding stock with no volume because there's no definitive direction and anything can happen. So what you want to wait for if you are short biased, which I was waiting for the squeeze. So I wasn't really looking at this. I had it on my watch list, but when the market opened, or rather in the pre-market around 7:30, I see a big squeeze from $2.12 all the way up to $2.70. Now, I don't know where this is going to go. It just spiked up, made a 30% push, and we do not know if this is shortable yet. But immediately in the next candle, it flushes all the way down back to 160. So this move was either created by an algo or some liquidity event that we do not know about. But how do we take advantage of this short? So the ideal position would have been $2.30, or if you're really aggressive, short the breakdown below $2.50. But because we don't know how far this is going to go or where it's going to end up, it's very difficult to find out where your resistance levels are and what you have to risk. So let's go back to the daily chart. You can see on the daily chart, this stock holds about $1.40 to $1.60 level. So I know if I'm shorting the stock, that's roughly where I want to cover. But where do I enter? So because this stock was moving so fast, it had to be a momentum play. So I looked at the 1 minute. Let me see if I can find it first. So 1 minute. And you can see it broke the $2.30, which was at the time the pre-market and the after-hour high. It made a massive wick, and that's where I wanted to get in. When it broke below $2, it was happening so fast and on such high volume, I couldn't even get in, because typically everybody knows that the half dollar and the whole dollar typically acts as support and resistance. So after it broke this $2, I actually started my short in the 180s. I said mini consolidation where I made it based in the 180s. If it's moving this fast, it's going to flush right through it. I actually got really aggressive. I shorted in the 180s and I added a little bit in the 170s. And I got out at the very bottom around 150. I had some orders. I got out on all of these wicks and I exited my position around $1.50. So that first trade made me about $1,200. Now, I wasn't done on the day. I really wanted to continue trading today for whatever reason. I saw this one and this stock was so insane. They are facing so many lawsuits because they misled investors. They essentially told investors on August 6th that everything was on track in their clinical trials. But they dropped the bomb yesterday and it failed. This stock went from $50 all the way down to $3.80. That is insane. That is more than a 90% drop on the stock overnight. And investors lost a ton of money and they are not happy. So this stock is actually facing a lot of lawsuits and they are being sued for misleading investors on false stock news. So let's break down the chart. We can see that this is yesterday's, I believe. After it hits a low about $3.60, it pushes into the $5.30 level. And eventually it flushes back down to $4 yesterday in the real-time hours. But now let's look at what happened today. So when I saw this stock, I typically don't trade these, but there wasn't anything else moving at the time, and I figured I'd take a stab at it because I can read this with relative certainty. And what I was looking for was this $5.40 rejection. So after the initial push from about $4.50 all the way up to 520s and 530s, I shorted it looking for the breakdown back to support and the pre-market and the after-hour consolidation in the 450s. So I shorted in the 510s and 520s, and I didn't get out when it broke below $5. When it started curling back up in this candle right here, I exited most of my position and I actually ended the day red, about $5 on this stock. So it's very important that you respect your risk level, because even though this stock is incredibly weak and it just dropped 95% overnight, you still have to be careful because it's on SSR, it's made a massive push, and anybody who shorted this stock into this drop, they're going to be looking to cover. And we don't know exactly how many shares are actually left because this stock actually squeezes back up to the yesterday's pre-market high. So for that reason, I got a break even, and it was a good thing I did. It was really choppy, made a high about 550, and now slowly coming back down to about $5.10. So that was my second stock. MSGY was the main stock that I traded today, where I didn't expect to make as much money as I did, but it's very important that you recognize these types of moves and be very cautious of when you're holding and when you're getting out. So typically, when I short these stocks, I like to hold on to the fade. So this stock went up on a reverse stock split type news. When a company has a reverse stock split, it's generally not a good catalyst, and shorts usually pile into them. So this stock actually first squeezed everybody out first and had two halts on the day. I saw the halt to $5.15. It came back down to $4, and on this push, I got in. I shorted around $4.50, $4.60, risking the high of $5.16. Now, you may wonder that this is actually a pretty big risk. Well, I have a stat that in this specific scenario, if this stock will not make a new high by 10:30, we have a very high probability of making at least 30% on the stock. So we know the high is about $5.10. If the high is at $5.10, I know that if this does not break the $5.10, I will get a move below $3.50. And because this stock is moving on a reverse stock split, I reason that I will probably be able to get out below $3. And that's what I was hoping for. So back to the stock, you can see it makes a high about $5.22. I shorted somewhere around this level, 460s, 470s. And it made a push initially, so I was down about 30 cents, but I wasn't worried. And on this flush to about $3.60, I didn't get out. It happened so fast that it left a really nasty bottoming wick. But for the most part, this stock was consolidating around $3.80. And I contemplated getting out because if you look at this pattern right here, this area right here, you can see it's trading in a range. Typically, with a low float stock that's moving up on no news and coming back down, you expect volume to die down and the stock to continue fading. Even if it doesn't continue fading, volume must die down, and you can only hold on to these stocks if they are fading. You can see from this chart, it was not fading. So after it made a push to about $4.20, I was thinking, wait a minute, it's breaking back above $4. And not once, but it happened multiple times. So stocks like this must continue fading for you to hold on to them. And when I realized it wasn't fading, I got out half my position in the 390s, and the last half, I waited. I was hoping it was going to get back to below 380 for me to cover. It didn't do that. It pushed above $4. I exited my entire position around $4.05, giving me an average about $4 on the exit. And I thought I was done for the day. And this stock continues squeezing from about 390s all the way to a high of $5.86. I was watching this stock around the $5 level, looking for a second trade, but this stock was moving on such thin volume. Like, there was such a high spread, there was a lot of shares being moved, but the behavior in the level 2 just didn't meet the eye test. It didn't look right. And because of that, I kind of held off and I didn't really want to take another trade unless I was certain. So I actually waited, and on this retest, the break between $5 to $5.20, I got in around 480s. I tried to get in around 480s, it's what I would like to say, because I got slippage. And by the time I actually entered the stock, I got it around $4.67. I would have loved to get in around 480s, 490s, but because this stock was just knifing down, I could not get the price that I wanted. So on the pop, you can see it left a massive wick around 440. So it broke 450, came back up to around 460s. I added to my position, and on this flush here, I exited my entire position around $4.30. I had a small size exit at $4.52 just in case they wouldn't break down the 450s, and I had a tiny bit left on the 420s. So on this last scalp, I only made about $250. And because of that, that put me about $2,100 on the day. You can see MSGY is still continuing to fade, and I have no doubt that it will. So I'll show the stock. You can see what's going on right now. It's still live, it's still in play, but it's making lower highs and is breaking through this ascending support. So here, I'll draw it for you guys. And you can see it right about here. Let's see. So you can see it's finally breaking below the ascending support. And you have to remember that this stock has no real material news. It's executing a reverse stock split. That's it. There's no fundamental news supporting the move today. So I have no doubt this stock will fade back to $2-3, but it's going to do it in the after hours. It's not going to do it in the real-time hours. So that's my analysis of the stock. And from these two trades alone, that put me about $2,131 on the day. So you can see from my entries and exits, I got out around $4.33. My first trade, I got out around $4. SION, I lost about $5. And my MGIH, I made $1,200 on the day. So that's my recap for today. We are going into day 4 with another green day for our small account challenge, locking in over $2,100, and hopefully we can continue this momentum into tomorrow. So that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys stay green. I hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.